Hello and welcome to Digi8.com.
In this video, we are going to cover the topic on types of communication. Now let's start with what is communication. Communication is a method to develop and transfer emotions, concepts, facts, views, data, etc. between individuals to achieve a shared understanding. Communications are central to the existence and sustenance of human beings and also to a firm. The method of communication is the transfer or passing on of information or data to the receiver. The sender uses a preferred channel to cross hurdles that might affect the delivery rate. Now moving on to the types of communication. First, verbal communication. The most familiar type of communication is verbal communication. It needs words to be said or sign language for communicating. Verbal communication can happen in person or other ways. This can involve video conferencing such as Zoom or Skype, via radio and mobile phones. In a job that needs calling people up, presentations, and business conducted via meetings, the managers need employees to be good at communicating verbally. Next is nonverbal communication. Communicating with the help of facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, and gestures to express oneself is called nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication complements verbal communication. For example, a person's expression can reveal what they feel even when their words may not show it. Nonverbal communication comes in many varieties, such as, first, facial expressions, second, touch, eye contact, posture, proxemics, which means closeness and personal space between two individuals, and kinesics, as in body movement. Moving on to the third type, that is written communication. Expressing through printing, typing, or writing is called written communication. It can be carried out through mediums like books, social media, emails, text messages, and letters. Since altering it is tough, firms might prefer written communication. Example, releasing a statement to the public from the firm in writing makes twisting words more difficult. Moving on to the fourth and the final one, visual communication. Visual communication requires photographs, graphs, maps, charts, and logos to share information. Other than these, there are 7 aspects of visual conversations, such as color, shape, tones, texture, figure ground, balance, and hierarchy. It is accompanied by written or verbal communication to make it easier to understand. Example, the use of CGI in a video to show data, etc. can make it easier for people to understand. Now moving on to certain tips, starting with the first one, verbal communication tips. First, be brief and distinct, as in, words used should depend on who is being spoken to. For example, an interview must have fewer casual informal words used. The tone and behavior have to be professional. One has to appear to be confident and fluent. And next, listen carefully. Listening carefully leads to effective verbal communication. This can be a personal or group discussion. Others' opinions must be heard. This makes others feel involved. In turn, they are more likely to listen. It also gives a picture of thought processes and what is needed. Next comes non-verbal communication tips. First, be aware of body language. Negative reactions to emotions must be changed. For example, in an interview, one must try to control themselves when they get nervous. It takes time but can be done slowly. Eventually, one gains control over their bodies. And next, feelings must be understood. It must be seen how feelings change body posture a moment. Example, nervousness might make a person move their knees up and down rapidly while sitting, tap a pen on the desk, and show other nervous tics. Next, written communication tips. First, writing has to be double-checked. Emails, letters, etc. need to be proofread. It can also be checked by someone else. This spots errors and improves the message. And finally, things could be misunderstood. There are many aspects to verbal and non-verbal communication. This includes tone, body language, and expression. These help the listener figure out what they mean. In written correspondence, the receiver can have multiple interpretations. Example, the reader might not gauge the seriousness of the tone. And finally, visual communication tips. First, focus on the target audience. Visuals need to be understood by receivers. They can be simplified to the best of one's abilities. And next, feedback for visuals. Visuals can be counterproductive if they are not understood. Taking a second opinion is an excellent way to find out. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on types of communication. These are some of the sources and links referred to for the content in the video.
Thank you and see you in the next video.